Ouch. It's in my head. Mixed Nights, how are you? I want you to check something out. Every so often you get an update for your car, which can sometimes change the interface. It's great, but now I had to figure out all the functionalities for that interface all over again. EVBase just gave us an option to control everything in your car without taking your eyes off the road. This, along with a variety of other products, can be found on their site. Just use my code MIXTONIGHT at checkout to save some change on your next purchase. Let me take it back. Well, some of us like the sleek Tesla setup. But let's be honest, it's not always practical when you're driving. Maybe you want to quickly adjust the temperature or pop the glove box open, or even switch media settings. Scrolling through menus or tapping icons while focused on the road, yeah, that's not ideal. It's easy to get distracted, which is the last thing you want to do when you are behind the wheel. The center console physical control buttons make life behind the wheel so much easier. Think of it like a shortcut system designed specifically for your Model Y or even your Model 3. Instead of poking at the touchscreen, now all you have to do is tap a button. It's just that simple. This control button gives you access to 12 different shortcuts, meaning you can handle things like climate control, media volume, and even opening the trunk, all with a simple tap. It's intuitive, straightforward, and it fits seamlessly into your car's interior. You won't even feel like it's an add-on. It just blends right in, preserving the premium Tesla feel, or vibe, or whatever you want to call it. And the installation, you don't have to be a tech whiz, okay? I'm gonna make this look so easy. Just follow the steps in this tutorial.
All right, so let's see what's in this box. The first thing you're gonna get is some directions, which you don't even need. It's that easy. From here, you have the actual console, very clicky. I love it. You have your harness for your chair to control those seats. You have the harness for the actual console itself. It's going to plug it into the center console. And then you have this panel that's going to be replacing the existing panel. And lastly, you have this power adapter for power for the actual console itself, and also some screws that are useless. Throw these away. All right, so the first thing you want to do is move your seat back. This is going to allow you to take off the center console. This will not be an easy task, but it is going to sound like you're breaking it, but trust me, you're not breaking it. It's just loud. All right, from here, you want to use your pry tool to kind of pry this part open. It will be kind of tough. Don't stress out about it, but it does come out pretty fluidly. From here, pry off that back panel. Pretty easy. And then you're going to unplug this screw right here. And then from there, you're going to use your T20 to remove these two screws from this back panel. You'll replace it with the new panel. Hold on to those screws because you want to use it to put it onto the brand new panel that you have here. All right, so from here, you got your main wiring harness. You want this white part to stick out behind the console itself. Everything else is going to feed through that hole that we just opened up. All right, so once you feed it through the hole, you want to pull it out of the bottom portion. Make sure you leave a little bit of slack. It should look just like that. All right, these two screws, your 10mm rocket socket, utilize that to take off those two screws right there. I would suggest having an extender. It's going to make your life a lot easier here. Look how easy that is. All right, this is what the screw looks like. From here, you're going to plug in that back panel. And after you plug in the back panel, you're going to feed the screws through these loops, and then you're going to place it right back into the console itself. It'll sit right under it. Don't tighten it too tight because it is made of plastic. Remember, there's two screws. From there, push in that back panel once again. The new one just snaps in there. And then from here, we're going to turn off the power to the car. So hit the car, safety, scroll down to the very bottom, and then just power it off. Don't forget the second button to power it off too. If you have a rear screen, go ahead and pull that off. Just anything with your ventilation, just pull it off. And then pull off that bottom panel there. And you're going to use a T20 screwdriver to take off those two screws. And that'll allow you to take off that center portion. And then from here, you're going to do your own cable management and then put everything back into its place. Now at the very bottom, you want to take out those blue plugs. If you have some, this is going to unplug the power. And then from there, you're going to put in that new harness that you had earlier. Everything will go into a specific spot. From there, you're going to plug in the seat power. It'll be two plugs right there. You can't mess that up. And then from there, put in your back panel once again and put in your screen if you had a screen. Now under the passenger front seat, remove that screw with a T20, pull that panel off, unplug that little plug there, and then feed that wire in and plug it up. And then plug it right back into the seat section panel, and then put in your T20 screw and you're good.
Just to give you a heads up, even though this console is awesome, I love it, there's one thing I wish it could do is customize the buttons, because, you know, I like to switch from chill mode to dynamic, you know, heavy steering to light steering, and I don't have that option. I wish I can just toggle the button rather than going into the screen. So that's one thing I wish I can do. Maybe even control some of the sound effects that I have with the car too as well. But, you know, for what it is awesome. I love it. It's definitely a good aesthetic to my vehicle, and it makes life a little bit easier for me. So if you want more control, less screen tapping, or even just a cleaner screen for that matter, along with an overall better driving experience, maybe you want to check out this console for your Tesla Model 3 or Model Y. In my case, the Model Y. And as I said earlier, all of this can be found on their site. Just make sure you utilize my code MIXNIGHT at checkout to save you some additional change off your next purchase. I'm Nathen Mixon. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll ride with you on the next one. Pause. Peace.